Prusa has announced 6 exciting new products, and 2 of them won't cost you a dime. They have 2 new printers, an open source spool tagging system, and they've taught the XL how to print in silicone. And if that's not enough, Prusa 3.0 is coming out very soon in 2026. Hi, I'm STL Denise, and I'm the only US creator who got to go see the Core 1L in person in Prague. And I don't believe anyone may have this machine in their hot little hands yet, unless Stefan stashed one in his trunk when he drove back home to Germany. Team Prusa sent out an embargoed invite to watch a new kind of product launch that took place in the Prague Planetarium. And that's why you haven't heard about this trip until today.
And it all comes together here. Prague, the world's capital of 3D printing. Please welcome Josef Prusa.
I was there representing Tom's Hardware, along with a host of international media and a dozen or so familiar faces from YouTube. Now, for full disclosure, I am a freelancer. Prusa Research was kind enough to pay for my travel expenses, but I'm not under any kind of contract with them, and they're not sponsoring this video. They did set me up with an affiliate link, so if you're in the mood to pick up a new printer or some Prusa mint, using my link is an easy way to support what I do here. And it won't cost you anything. Now, that said, in my honest opinion, I think you're really going to like this new machine, and you're going to love the new spools. The Core 1L is a bigger Core 1, and it really breaks the mold. See, this is a departure from the old bed size that Prusa has been locked into since the very beginning. Now, I know a lot of you were disappointed that the Core 1 was the same size as the Mark IV, which was the same size as the Mark III, but there was a very good reason for all of that. Josef Prusa wants his machines to last, and that means being able to upgrade them. Theoretically, if you bought a Mark II 9 years ago, you could have turned it into a Mark III and a Mark IV and finally a Core 1. Now, we're really getting into that whole Ship of Theseus territory right now, but never mind that. The Core 1L has a 300 by 300 by 330 print volume. Team Prusa's probably been watching a bit too much Doctor Who because this has some real TARDIS vibes going on here. The Core 1 is only 10% bigger on the outside, but it's twice as big on the inside. And it weighs about the same. I don't know how they did it. Okay, actually I do. They replaced a lot of the parts with aluminum. But it's not just bigger, this is a better machine. The heat bed is now a solid chunk of cast aluminum, and they're promising us even heating to all 4 corners. Again, my review unit is in the mail, so I have not tested this out yet for myself. They put fans underneath the bed, so we've got some convection oven action going on here to heat up the chamber to a toasty 60 degrees Celsius. The bed is running off of AC power, so it's going to heat up faster than that first Core 1, and Prusa said they took extra pains to make sure the wires are properly shielded and safe. They're including both a high-flow nozzle and a hardened steel tip nozzle, so if you're wanting to print really fast or you're more into abrasives, you're going to be covered. They also taught the machine how to close the top vent with a little bit of G-code and a pokey stick. This is not only totally adorable, but it's an easy fix without complex parts that might fail. I'm pretty sure this can be applied to your Core 1, so keep your eyes peeled on printables for a mod. We also have a special switch over here to make TPU loading a breeze. And I'll let you know what that's all about when my review unit comes in. One more thing with the Core 1L, and this applies to every Prusa machine. These printers are built with both quality and security in mind. A Prusa printer never needs to go online. They come with USB sticks, and you can totally yank that Wi-Fi board right off if you need to. Prusa Research has its own PCB line in Prague, and most of the components are sourced from within the European Union. Final assembly takes place either in Prague or at the Printed Solid factory in Delaware, if you're buying stateside. The Core 1L will come mostly assembled and factory calibrated, so it's going to be pretty much a plug-and-play machine. The retail price in the US is $17.99, and that includes all the import duties and tariffs. Now, the second machine is really interesting, but it's not going to be for everyone. Quite literally. The Signature Oak is a designer Core 1, and they're only making 250 of them. It's totally gorgeous. It's got a handcrafted oak case, and it will look really great in your living room. They're not releasing the price, so I'm guessing this one is more for the champagne crowd. I'm thinking the rest of us need to figure out how to put some veneer on a printer if we want to steal this look. But go check out the video and prepare to drool. Now, next up we have printable silicone. Prusa worked with Filament 2 to come up with a system to print goo. They're using a specialized tool head for the XL that runs a two-part formula carried in tubes that are wound on standard printer spools. Now, I'm not exactly sure how this thing works, but other than there's a box on the side that squeezes the goo out, mixes it together, and pushes it down to the tool head. I'm guessing the extra tubing will shoot out the back somehow. It wasn't running when I got a close look. The silicone's going to take about 8 minutes to dry, and then it's safe to handle. If you're going to go to Formnext, they'll be showing off this rig, and I'm not sure when it's going to be ready for the public or how much it's going to cost. Prusa did say that this method will be way cheaper than the industrial alternatives that we have today. It's also pretty much a permanent mod to your XL, so for right now this looks like an upgrade for businesses and not someone who's looking to make 1 or 2 prints. For that, we're all going to need to stick to TPU. Now, I'm glad you stuck around because the last 2 announcements are for everyone and they're not going to cost you anything at all. Speaking of free, if you click the like button right now, it'll let YouTube know that I'm dishing out some really good content and other people need to see this video too. Thanks. Now, let's talk open source. Open source smart spools, that is. Prusa is leading the way with a universal spool tagging system called OpenPrintTag. Link down below to get the nitty-gritty. These tags are reusable stickers that are programmed with information about the material on the spool. Prusa Research has been printing QR tags on their spools for a very long time, but that information hasn't been readable by the printer until now. The tags are being included on fresh spools of Prusament as we speak, and the Core 1L is the first 3D printer that's fully compatible with this system. Other companies have been tagging their spools and using built-in readers on the printer, but that's been a walled garden situation, with printers only being able to read the spools from their own manufacturer. This goes all the way back to Stratasys, so it's not a new concept. The problem with keeping it proprietary, though, is that new users are often afraid to venture out of that walled garden, and they're missing out on a whole wide world of filament. Manufacturers are also missing out on an entire customer base who mistakenly think their printer can only consume name brand filament. And those of us who know better, well, we're missing out on the ease of use that comes with a smart spool. The system developed by Prusa Research seeks to change all of that, and they're not alone. They're partnering with other filament companies to develop the system and put open print tags on everybody's spools. They're trying to solve that whole chicken and the egg problem by making smart spools no big deal. Now, all you have to do is mod your existing printer to read them. And if your machine can run off a PrusaSlicer, you're set. Mods are going to be available soon for existing machines, both Prusa and not. The tags can also be bought from Prusa, and you can slap them on your existing filament. I'm told they're going to cost $6 for a 10-pack, and they're reusable and reprogrammable. All you'll need is a phone app to run it. And yes, this is open source, so there's no licensing fees, and all the data is contained on the sticker, so your spool doesn't need a satellite to hook up to work. If you like this idea and your filament company is not on this list, well, let them know that you want them to join. I'm looking at you, Polymaker. Let's go. Now, I didn't have a lot of information on this next announcement, except it will be cool and it will be free. PrusaSlicer is getting ready for version 3.0. They've improved the user experience and it's going to be high def. That's all I've got right now, so stay tuned for more updates after 2026 kicks in. So there you have it, a whole bunch of cool stuff coming out of Prague today, and there's something for everyone. Thanks for watching, and I'll have that Core 1L review out as soon as I can. No, I am not going to take this pool apart to tell you either. Anyway, smart tag right in there.